What's up, YouTube? Athanasios1 here, showing you a quick deck update. I went to a regional. I did an update binder, had that posted, got a few views on it. Right now, I'm just going to do a quick deck update after regionals. I ran the Six Samurai I had posted about a week ago. I made some changes after the regional of cards I liked and didn't like. I didn't like Morphing Jar. I actually took that out for Yaichi. I have Yaichi right there. My friend told me to run Yaichi. He told me Yaichi wasn't that good of a card. I mean, Anishi and Morphing Jar weren't that good of cards in the deck, so I listened to him. I also ran 3 Kaigeki, but I made a tech choice of Birdman over 1 Kaigeki because running, there'd be a lot of times where I would go United, summon Kagamucha, summon Kaizen, and I would draw into dead Kaigeki after making a level 6, and I didn't like that. So running Birdman is good because you can bounce back your Kagamusha, and you could, when you draw your smoke signals, after you make a synchro, they're not as dead. So Birdman does add a lot of good options, and it helps out with adding cards if you open Gateway. And with Dojo coming out, it's going to be even better tech. So right now, I think the 1 Birdman's a really good choice. So let's go to the main deck. It's 14 monsters. It's 3 Kaizens. You really can't see it. Sorry, the bad lighting. 3 Kagamusha, 2 Kaigeki, 2 Grandmaster, a hand, you can't really see that either, Yaichi, a Gorz, and 1 Gen XLI Birdman. I run 17 spells. The spells are going to be 3 Smoke Signals, 3 United, 3 Upstart, 2 MSTs, a Gateway, a Book of Moon, Reborn, Rhoda, True Nade, and Dark Hole. 9 trap cards. Sorry, I had to put the side deck out here. 2 Magatama, 2 Double Edge, 2 Bottomless. I say this almost all the time. I would replace those with warnings, and I'd probably side the Bottomlesses. D-Prison, no, not D-Prison. I was thinking I have to talk about D-Prison after, but Royal Oppression, Solemn Judgment, and Mirror Force. So that's 9 traps, 17 spells, and 14 monsters. On the synchros, the only change is Landois. I took out Ancient Fairy, so I'm not going to go through those. That's the same thing from my previous video. I'm pretty sure my side deck changed slightly. I side 2 DD Crow. I ended up trading my Effect Veiler. 2 Puppet Plan. I threw in the Snowman Eater. I'm not sure, but I'm not sure if I main decked Anishi before I sided it in the video. I do make a few changes here and there, but Anishi, double Cyber, the only reason why I do double Cyber now is just because he just kills Kinetic Soldier so fast, and sometimes you have minimal outs to it, so it's pretty good. But I would change a lot of cards on my side deck. Right now, I think the DD Crows, the 2 DD Crows, would be replacing D-Fissures. The Rivalry of Warlords would definitely be replacing D-Prisons. Or pretty much Smashing Ground would be replacing D-Prisons. Yeah, I'd have to say Smashing. Smashing and Dust would replace D-Prisons. I noticed that I haven't sided in Dust Shoot as much, which I think was a bad choice, but I'd like to change my side deck around a lot. I do want to side D-Fissures, Chain Disappearance, D-Prisons, and I'm going to end up buying Warnings pretty soon after the Gold Series is revealed. Or before, I don't know, but that's my friend's decision, whether or not he wants to sell them to me, so I will be switching around my side deck a lot. But mostly this is based off of locals. It's not really based off of going into big events most of the time. But yeah, rate, comment, and subscribe. Since I have extra time on this video, usually it takes longer because I'm flipping through the cards. I like to talk about the certain meta. Right now, the meta is pretty versatile. Like, it's weird because it's almost like if you win the die roll, it matters a lot for this deck and for a lot of decks. Like, I notice how with Dragoonity, if you don't win the die roll, it's hard because you can't make that first turn Stardust and pull off Ravine. because there's a really good chance it will get MST'd. And that hurts a lot because I did run Dragoonity, and going first is almost essential. Unless you open True Nade, and not having Pot of Duality, you're not going to get True Nade that fast. But what else is there to talk about on the format? And you can run almost any deck. Any creative deck that you want to run, you can run. But it just has to have the staples. Like if you're going to try and win a big event, like a YCS or top 8 or regional, you should definitely run Pot of Duality and Solemn Warnings. I don't run them, and I try to do as best as I can. And it doesn't work. But yeah, just I don't know. The meta's weird. Right now, if you like a deck, run it. You don't have to worry about running the best deck because a lot of decks are really competitive. But in my opinion, there is still a tier 2. So I would believe that, like, there's a few decks that are tier 1, and then there are the decks that are tier 2. So you have to consider your deck's not tier 2, so you have to make it as competitive as possible and as consistent as possible. Don't run a deck like Spellcasters, for example. Like, don't think that, oh, this meta, like, you can run any deck. Not almost any deck. Like, any deck that you liked in the past. Like, the Zombies, for example. Zombies died, but somebody top 32 to Anaheim with them, so they must be playable. So that just goes to show that you can still run Lightsworn if you want. In my opinion, Lightsworn is not a good deck at all right now. It'll always be a mediocre deck, but I don't know. I just think per ban list, the first ban list they got hit, they got hammered. Putting their Rhoda to 1, happy about. Their Reborner, Lumina to 1. I mean, they didn't have to take away their protection. Like, Necrogarner still being at 3 makes the deck viable. Now the deck isn't as viable, but it's still competitive. You could probably top 32 if you ran a trap build. Because in my opinion, making Lightsworn, you have to make it as consistent. Like, I would not run Wolf, and I would probably run Triple Duality. Right now, if I had Triple Duality, I probably wouldn't run this deck. I'd probably run Blackwings. Because Blackwings is my favorite deck. It's tier 2 right now. Pretty much tier 1 because you can run the turbo build. Oops. Well, I'm not a big fan of it. If I were to run a turbo variant of Blackwings, I'd probably just run it. I always ran 3 value, but I wouldn't run the turbo build with like Dark Refer. I hate Dark Refer because Dark Refer is such a -1. I would run Armageddonite. He's a free 14 floater, so he's really good in the deck. I'd probably run 1 or 2 of him right now. But I ran Card Trooper before in my Blackwings with 3 value and a Morphing Jar. I ran Sangyan. I would always run 2 Bora. But Kalut being at 1, I guess 3 Bora isn't a bad idea right now. But I don't know. I like messing around with the Blackwing deck. It's the deck I'm best at, but it's not a good deck at all in my opinion. It's too auto play. Like it tends to play itself sometimes. Like this deck. This deck can play itself. A lot of decks do, but some decks require more skill than others. Basically, like Fish. There's 2 types of Fish decks right now. There's the deck that does the DeLorean move with Trish, that you guys probably have seen. And then there's the deck that just makes summon Koala or double Colossal Rare. Or if you know you have it, you'll do the Gisladon Brionac OTK. But other than that, these decks, this format, are all viable that are top, as long as you have Warning and Duality. So, and it relies off that roll. Yeah. Not much to talk about, but rate, comment, and subscribe. Oh yeah, I'm going to be posting up more dual videos. Not more, but I'm going to try to post up dual videos when I go to locals. Video me playing if I like make the finals, or I'll probably just do every round whoever I play, whether it's a bad player or not. Yeah, thanks YouTube.